It's Yow, your Ottawa webcast. She's Zoe Thorne. It's the Milkman, John Milky, for Wednesday, the 19th of June. It's nice to see you, person who did not respond to my text last night. Why?
I was karaokeing poorly. There was some fantastic people at Pub Wells just murdering karaoke, and I was like, I am not following them at all. Like, and then it was
fun, though.
Yeah, but it was also really entertaining because the Edmonton Oilers game was on in the background.
Right.
So, like, people would start cheering at some points in the middle of people's songs, and, like, the guy hosting it would look up, and then he's like, "Oh, it's just because of the game. It's not because of anything we're doing up here."
You thought the cheering was for you, didn't you?
Pardon?
You thought the cheering was for you, didn't you?
No, I waited till specifically after the Oilers game so that some people would leave because that's what they were clearly there to watch. And I was like, well, I'll wait for that crowd to leave and then I'll go. And I did Skater Boy by Avril Lavigne. I dropped our podcast. I was like, well, while I have your attention for a moment before the song plays, I do a podcast because
good for you.
That's what you got to do.
That's so funny. Even the worst singer at karaoke last night could have been like that much better than the anthem singer, the U.S. anthem singer. Whoever sang the Canadian anthem did a great job. And then they gave this big introduction to whoever it was that sang the U.S. national anthem. Please welcome so-and-so recording artist with blah, blah, album, da-da-da-da. And they build her up, and she comes out, oh, say, can you see? I'm exaggerating only slightly. She missed a few notes. I felt really bad.
Well, I wonder if she was like under the weather and just still tried to power through or something. But yeah,
maybe she's drinking with that Edmonton Oilers fan who got loaded and showed her
yeah,
herself.
But I mean, honestly, I was shaking like a leaf last night doing karaoke, so I couldn't imagine what she had to do to like sing the national anthem at like a Stanley Cup game. So yeah, kudos for even just showing up and doing it.
I can't stand karaoke. I've told this story so many times when karaoke was a new thing. Back in my day, I hosted karaoke, and of course you got to go through the whole, so here's how karaoke works. If you've never seen it before, the words pop up on the screen, you follow the little bouncing ball, blah, 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 and you sing along with the song you've chosen. La, 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 la. I would get so bored, I would start singing my own words to the songs. There was a place called Legends Restaurant ages ago. They were in Bell's Corners where Hooters eventually ended up. It's Tim Hortons now. And there's one at Baseline and Fisher. So, Baseline and Princeton. Anyway, somewhere there. And I'm in there hosting a karaoke night one night. And of course, I decided I wanted to do my own version of To All the Girls I've Loved Before. To all the girls I've loved before, who've traveled in and out my door. And then door rhymes with whore, and down the toilet it went. And my boss came to see me that night and said, I love you. I think you're fantastic and you make karaoke fun. But that entire table of 20 people up there, that's a Mormon church group. And we had to comp their dinner. So
yeah,
I don't work here anymore.
Yeah, I guess there's that fine line that you gotta tight walk across when it comes to. But I feel like now, like, you don't have to explain how karaoke works. Like, do you live under a rock? Like, you shouldn't have to explain to people how it works. It's very simple. I mean, you have to tell them now, like, scan the QR code to see the full list of songs, but that should be all about you have to explain.
God.
Yeah.
I have visions of explaining that to the, average person over 60 who's coming into a karaoke bar. Scan? What do you mean scan? Do you know how to use a camera on your phone? I don't even know my password. Oh, God.
Well, shout out to JJ, who was the host last night. He did a fantastic job. Honestly, we should get him on the podcast because it sounds like he kind of wants to do. We were joking around being like, Pubwell's Got Talent. Like America's Got Talent, Canada's Got Talent, but Pubwell's.
Come on, everybody's welcome on this podcast.
Yes,
Even Doug Armstrong. I want to say congratulations to Doug Armstrong. He finally heard us on the podcast later yesterday evening. The first person to actually guess the artist and title of the lyrics you read yesterday.
Oh, good! Yay! I thought it was a dead giveaway. So
it was. So reveal, who was it?
Oh, it was Mumbo number 5.
The number of people that had no clue.
Oh
It
my
astounds me. All right.
I was
Let's
like, well, this will be easy so you can get someone in the draw and get them a winning a gift card, and I failed you all. I'm sorry.
It's different, though, when you hear the lyrics being spoken as opposed to sung. So here, let's try this again. 2 lines from a very famous song. We're looking for the artist and the title. If you are the first correct texter at 613-604-6464, we will put you in Friday's draw to win a $50 gift card for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. You get to choose, but food on us, courtesy of Hometown Sports Grill, 1525 Bank Street. Here are the lyrics. No inhibitions. Make no conditions. Get a little out of line.
Oh, I know.
Ah,
I know, but I can't say, nor
that's
can I
correct.
win the gift card. So, guys, flood in the messages.
613
Win for me.
604-6464. Artist and title. $50 gift card on the line every Friday. Thanks to Hometown Sports Grill. This is Yow, your Ottawa webcast.
And because we're live, like, I can't even just, like, say it now. Like, before when we weren't doing it live, I could have just been
I know,
like,
you gotta pull
da
yourself
da
back,
da 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 da. Now I can't da 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 da.
which is so difficult for people like you and me who are just like blurter outers.
I know, I'm such a blurter outer. That's why I'd be terrible at Jeopardy. I'd forget to be like, "What is?" I'd just be like, "This, it's this," and they'd be like,
I know.
Yeah, and they're like, "No, you gotta 1, push the button, and 2, say the phrase," and I'd be like, "No, I just know."
All right. Anybody that is tuned in, by the way, you are welcome to post your comments, and we can put them up on the screen. We are not on Twitch today because Rusty's doing his oldie show on BTR,
Oh.
and his audience is big on Twitch, so we're not
You're
interfering.
good. No, that's great. That's okay.
Let's go. Let's go.
We'll-
Here we go.
we'll
Back
Twitch
into the show. Back into the show. You ready?
Yeah.
Dum-ba-da-bum-ba-bum-ba-da-bum-bum. Okay.
Bum bum.
Yow is your Ottawa webcast. Zoe and the Milkman, again, lyrically speaking, is underway, looking for the first correct person.
Yep.
Oh. Here's the problem. You see, the LCBO is threatening on going on strike. I'm having to drink my entire inventory right now just to make room for all the stuff I'm going to buy.
Settle down. Also share. What are you doing?
I told you. I texted you last night.
I
You never
know.
responded.
I
You wrote
know.
karaoke. That's not the intro I wanted to do. Hang on. Redo. Mulligan. Welcome to live radio. Here we go. It's Yow, your Ottawa webcast with Zoe and the Milkman. Good luck again with lyrically speaking, no inhibitions, make no conditions, get a little out of line. Artist and title for a $50 gift card on Friday. First correct texture through. I'll put your name in the draw. 613-604-6464. Big day today, Zelly. I sold a thing.
Sorry, you said Zelly. Were you talking to me?
Have you adopted a new name I'm not aware of?
You said Zelly, not Zoe.
I'm American sometimes.
Oh, okay. What was the question? Sorry, that completely distracted me. I was like, who's Zelly? Like
Zowie.
Zowie? Is that what you're trying to
Did I
say?
really say Zowie?
I heard Zelly.
Zoe.
Zoe. Sorry, what was the question?
I'll have to listen to the podcast to make sure, if I did screw that up. I wouldn't surprise me one little bit because I'm so conscious of the differences between the Canadian accent and the American accent, right? And I don't want to I don't want to use the Canadian accent on the American shows I do. So, I no longer say about. Canadians say about, which when you go east, it becomes a boot. It's even more pronounced. So I'm very much about saying about. It's almost like A-B-A-O-U-T, about.
Oh,
So now
I would
it's
try
out.
to just avoid it altogether if I was you. Just never saying that word.
That was the plan. Let me tell you how difficult it is to avoid saying the word about.
Yeah, well, that's subconsciously I've been trying to avoid the word like, and I catch myself constantly saying it. Like, see, I just did it again.
I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. I've been better at not saying
Oh, good. Yeah. It's a hard habit.
quickly becoming a drinking game, I'm sure, for some of our listeners.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Anyway, what I wanted to say was I sold a thing today. The purge has begun. Getting rid of some stuff,
Ooh.
getting the house in shape. I sold a wakeboard. I bought a wakeboard years ago, and I had the boat. Never once did I ever use it anyway.
Oh, I did see you have that on Facebook Marketplace.
So that's gone now. Still got a couple of kayaks to go, and there's a lot more to come. The fun thing for the woman who showed up at the door, of course, is number one, my dog, who just goes barreling out the door.
I know, yeah, but Kelty's so sweet. She's just a big sweet bear.
I'm just worried about that person who comes to the door and is not comfortable around dogs. As nice as my dog is, she's big and
Yeah, she'll knock you right off your feet.
compounded by the fact that the poor woman is standing on my doorstep. It didn't dawn on me until afterwards, staring inside the house at my Christmas tree.
And then you have to explain the Christmas tree.
Which is only the Christmas tree at Christmas time. This time of year, it was like the Father's Day tree last weekend.
Oh, well, it's not her house. She doesn't have to look at it, so.
Yeah, it was our anniversary tree recently.
Yeah.
Mom and Dad's anniversary tree coming up next weekend. It's just a tree.
You could also just, like, start the conversation with, "I know I have a Christmas tree up behind me, and this is why," just so you don't have to ask. But, yeah, you know what I don't like is that Facebook tells everyone when you're selling something. I think I've said this before on the podcast, like, it really frustrates me, like, if I wanna sell that present that I didn't really actually like but I have that person on Facebook,
The thing Amanda
screw you, Facebook, for telling them on, like, they're just tattling on you, like
See, I don't even bother with the marketplace thing. I just put it on my regular Facebook. I'm sure Facebook is going to catch me one of these days and say, rules are rules. You're supposed to be doing that in Facebook sellers group.
Yeah.
Well,
and then I would reply with being like, "Well, I like tattling on myself, so thanks."
so there, Facebook, take that.
Yeah.
You and your little artificial intelligent rule makers telling me I'm not up to your community standards. How dare
Your guidelines can
Yeah.
Junk
Well,
it.
selling stuff, and purging things, and considering a move. I posed this question on my Facebook earlier today to you, the listeners, and boy, oh boy, have you responded. What would it take for you to move away from Ottawa and live somewhere else? We'll run down your answers coming up on Yow, your Ottawa webcast.
I just have this bubble sitting right here.
Bubble?
Yeah, like a heartburn bubble. It
Oh.
just, like, is sitting it right at the base of my throat. Ugh.
You'll be all right.
I'll be fine. It's
Just
just
a heart attack.
Oh, I would prefer.
All right, let's get to it. I'm sure you see this every now and then in your social media travels. People saying, I am so sick of this city, I want out. Okay. So we've asked this question. What would it take for you to leave Ottawa and live somewhere else? Zoe, what would it take for you?
I mean, honestly, if I worked a fully remote job, I could could take my dog anywhere. I would consider just getting a PO box and just traveling while I worked.
That's my dream.
Yeah, I think that would be a lot of people's dreams, but honestly, not much. Like, if you give me a solid house price, I would probably just move.
So you would adopt the nomad lifestyle, or would you actually want to buy or rent somewhere, like another city somewhere?
Well, to answer the question properly, if you gave me a solid home price and it seemed doable for me with my job, then I would probably just move.
Heather says she'd move to a little cabin on the water with loons close enough to drive to work. Yeah, but what would it take?
Yeah, that's why I wanted to answer that properly.
I'm guessing Heather wants me to give her the little cabin on the water. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you gave me a house, I will move. Like,
Roxanne gets my question. What would it take? Money.
yeah.
Aaron says a lot of money. Leanne, thank you for your reply. What would it take for you to move out of Ottawa and set up shop somewhere else? She says, I'd love to live and teach overseas again, but I want to build my pension in Ottawa first, then maybe teach overseas. So, money. Kendra left Ottawa. She's living in Florida now. She loves it there. See, I'm kind of leaning towards that, as you know, right? Because I do some work in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for November. What happens in November
will determine everything.
Yeah. Money, says Tuesday.
I think money is going to be a lot of people's answers.
Bart says money. Julie says money.
Yeah. I
Rebecca,
mean, I think you could
Rebecca
probably, I was going to say, you could probably just skip over everyone who's saying money. We get it. Money.
Rebecca did move out of Ottawa. All it took was a military posting.
Oh, nice. And thank you
Mhm.
for your service.
So skip over that, skip over that, skip over that, skip over that, skipping over that, skipping over that. Here's
Oh.
one. Wasn't Ottawa, but I left Toronto and moved to Halifax. Says Scott. It's like my soul is from here. Go and visit a location of interest. You'll feel whether or not you fit in, and if you do, make that move.
Yeah, whatever makes you happy. Life is short, man.
Scott's now in Halifax on the East Coast. That's one of the best cities I've ever been to, man. Nice. Skipping over that one, skipping over that one. Chris says a job offer that makes it worth my while. It's kind of, I should have skipped that. Okay. Skipping, 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 skip. Wow, this is a riveting podcast today. What are they talking about? Somebody walks into the room right now listening to somebody listening to our podcast. What are you listening to? Skipping, 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 skipping.
Skipping.
Oh, here we go. Karen, a hot girl. There you go. Karen wants a hot girl and she's happy to leave.
Oh, nice.
We got to get Karen a hot girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kelly says a driver. So,
Wait,
yeah,
what?
a driver.
Just someone to drive you around?
Drive her around.
I think they do have those services in Ottawa if you really hate driving that much.
I think Kelly's thinking of staying in Ottawa, but just doing away with the whole driving thing and have somebody take that task on. I don't envy that. That's a job I wouldn't
You'd
want.
still have to sit in traffic. So maybe that's what she means is more just like someone to drive her around in a city that doesn't have such terrible traffic. But
There you go. That's what it would take for people to leave Ottawa. Money, 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 money.
skip.
Shocking revelation on Now, your Ottawa webcast. Want to do memes?
Oh, yep.
Let me just fire up my memes here.
Meme.
Oh, see, I got to
I had
shuffle
them
that.
fired up and then there we go. Gonna have to start refilling my meme folder. But again, all the ones I've seen have pictures, and I'm like, no.
I envy the fact that you actually have these organized up. Look at you, multitasking, sharing my video. Smart.
I try. Well, we have a minute before we actually go live. Hello.
Mahadi in the house. Barb, I didn't see
Yeah.
your comments until now. Barb, I'd leave for more huskies.
Oh, amen. Always more dogs, never less.
I'd love a small, tiny home in the bush, and I can keep my Loki bear, which
Yes.
are husky.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind being in the bush too, Barb, but I think we're talking about different things. Hey-oh!
I'm not touching that.
What she said. All right. Your Ottawa webcast, yowshow.ca. Ooh. I meant to mention, by the way, I did take my phone out of airplane mode in advance of the show today. Yay, me, winning.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, Mom. I also have the show streaming to YouTube now. That took some work, let me tell you. And I tried like hell. Just so
and you made sure like it wasn't like airplane mode or anything like that. Just
Stop.
yes.
Stop. I took it out of airplane mode. You gave me the credit. You don't need to circle back and for my parade. We are also on YouTube today. That took a lot of work, and I tried like crazy to try and figure out how to embed one of the video players from either Twitch or YouTube or Facebook into our webpage. And everything that I'm learning says I can only take an existing video and put it on. I got to figure this out because I know I've done it on other websites before. Anyway, work in progress. Hey, memes we've seen. You got some memes you've seen?
Yes.
Let's share them with the class. I will start.
Okay.
A poem about work. Coffee, blah, blah, blah. Drive home. Why?
Yes, agreed.
Memes we've seen. Zoe.
If you're funny, you're automatically more attractive. Beauty fades, but sarcasm is forever.
Yes, it is. Thank God. Memes we've seen. As I get older, I can feel people dressing me with their eyes.
Put it back on. Put it back
Yeah,
on.
it hurts because it's true.
Memes we've seen. You won't be everyone's cup of tea because you're champagne.
Damn right I am.
Yeah.
Memes we've seen. People who say go big or go home seriously underestimate my willingness to go home. Like it's literally my only goal.
Yeah. Introverts are like, peace.
You got one more?
I do.
Go for it.
Do you ever feel like your body's check engine light has been on and you're still driving like, nah, it'll be fine?
Every minute of the day.
Now I'm concerned for your health.
One more time?
Now I'm concerned for your health.
A lot of people are. I got one more, if I may.
Yes, go right ahead.
As we've seen, why are dick pics not called junk mail? Love it.
That is a solid point, actually. They should do a whole rebrand. Maybe that'll make them more popular.
Charge on that one. There you go. Some memes we've seen. Trumped over you again. Sorry, but I edited. I left a room to edit. I left room to edit so I don't sound like a complete schmo.
That's okay.
Mahadi and Barb, our two biggest fans. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
Segment 5. Ooh. Yeah. What your shoes say about you?
Oh, yes. I do want to do this one.
Not sure how I bring this up without sounding a little weird. I don't intend to sound weird. I know I do, though, more often than I care to admit. But Zoe, I'm curious to know, what kind of shoes do you typically wear?
Oh, typically wear? I mean, anything that'll fit my orthotics. I know, super sexy at my age.
You're making the segue on this one real simple for me.
That's what I'm here to do, is challenge you.
A woman's choice of shoes apparently reveals very interesting insights about her personality.
Ooh.
All right, so here are some shoe personality associations. So if you are a lover of high-heeled boots, this should surprise nobody. You kind of have a dominatrix personality. Yes, you like to take charge. You are confident. You are assertive. You are quick on your feet, pardon the pun, and people feel safe around you if you like high-heeled boots.
And that is why I do have one pair of high-heeled boots, and I don't wear them often because that is not how I feel deep down.
What about running shoes? You like your running shoes?
They fit my orthotics.
Fitness enthusiasts, of course, love those more than anybody, which you absolutely are. People who gravitate to running shoes tend to be confident. They tend to be goal-oriented and organized. They are great multitaskers and typically someone who reminds us of the hardest working moms out there.
Oh, nice. I mean, I try to avoid like shoes that make me look like a mom, I guess, or older, but I try to have snazzy kicks anyways.
Are clogs a thing? Like when I say clogs, I think of those Dutch shoes, those wooden shoes.
I feel like Crocs are like the new version of clogs. They're just a little bit more comfy and not made of wood. But I also wouldn't be surprised if there are Crocs made of wood. So
I love my Crocs. I'm not gonna lie. I love my Crocs. Croc or clog wearers, down to earth, outdoorsy, and nurturing. They appreciate nature and have a generous spirit.
You also like everyone knowing that you're walking down the street.
I probably should have read Birkenstocks. But anyway, moving on. If you like flats,
I do, yeah.
then you are the kind of person who likes to work diligently behind the scenes. You are modest, you are focused, the unsung heroes, the person who makes things happen if you wear flats. And my go-to, my personal favorite for footwear, always, stilettos. I love wearing my Jimmy shoes, my Jimmy shoes. I love my Jimmy Choos and my Louboutins, of course, as you know.
You're an expert. I can tell.
I just tried to make it weird, and Zoe's like, yeah, and just if If you're the kind of person who wears stilettos, we'll end it here. Your Jimmy Choos, your Louboutins, you are hardworking, you are driven, you have excellent taste. Materialistic appearance aside, stilettos, the kind of person who wears them, is a real standout kind of person. That's what your shoes say about you. On Yow, your Ottawa webcast. Back to my Crocs. Wasn't sure how to get out of that one. I really thought I would rope you into something silly with the stilettos, and you just went.
I don't judge.
That's the problem.
I know.
You'd be a lot more fun on the podcast, Zoe.
I'm sorry. I try to be open-minded.
If only you could be more judgmental, we might have something worthwhile here on the podcast.
My therapist says I have to work on it, okay?
What else we got? Oh. We want the I got never mind the news nuggets.
Oh.
Because this is our last segment coming up.
Oh.
McDonald's has launched some new shaker fry flavors. We'll end it here on the weirdest twin story ever. Ready?
Sure.
When you were in grade school, remember When you were in grade school, remember they used to give us those quizzes? If a train is leaving a station heading east at 12:22, driving 14 kilometers an hour, and another train is leaving a station, blah, 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 you'd have to try and figure out these riddles, right?
Yeah, I mean, clearly I never did those well, and that's why I'm doing a podcast.
Oh, that's why. Wait, me too. That's how you end up here.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I always got that question wrong.
This story reminds me of those brain teasers they used to give us because it on the surface, it makes absolutely no sense. This, Zoe, is one of the coolest stories, the wildest stories I have ever heard about twins. And there are some crazy stories about twins out there.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So first and foremost, congratulations to Erin Clacy of New York. She's now the mom of twins.
Yay.
The twins, though, see if you can figure out how this happened. They were born 6 months apart. And even more bizarre, or equally as bizarre, they were born 1,448 kilometers apart. Can you explain this?
Well, I assume she moved, during the six months. No,
Nope.
I mean just like physically moved herself.
She did not do
She
that.
just sat in the same spot for 6 months is what you're telling me?
That's not what I'm telling you.
Well, that's what she obviously got up and moved.
It's triggering. This is like that grade 5 quiz all over again.
Yeah, I'm starting to get mad. I'm about to throw my calculator at you.
Well, you do that. I will turn it upside down and write boobies. That's so Erin and her partner were having troubles conceiving. Been there. I can relate. They opted to do in vitro fertilization. And Erin became pregnant. But the pregnancy, you see, was very touch and go. They were nervous and decided they would go forward with a surrogacy that they had planned previous to her actually becoming pregnant. So Erin gave birth to one. 6 months later, the surrogate gave birth to the other. Isn't that crazy?
That is
2
crazy.
very healthy baby boys. And imagine the stories they are going to have to tell when they hit the bars when they're 18 and 19.
Also, does that count as paternal, fraternal? I don't know.
Crazy cool story. Anyway, we will end it there. Want to thank you for tuning in to Yow, your Ottawa webcast. We're on the air Monday to Friday. We also air on CKDJ 107.9 out of Algonquin College weekday afternoons, 5 until 6. The best of your Yow podcast airs on CJRO, covering the east end of the city. Vars, Carlsbad Springs, Russell, etc. And of course, we're on BlastTheRadio.com. We are on Pandora. Most of our listeners are on Pandora. Thank you. We had no idea we were even on Pandora. That was eye-opening.
Yeah.
Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. And of course, you can always go to our website, yowshow.ca.
If you like what you heard, please spread the word. And as always, ta-ta for now. TTFN.
Holy crap! We did a podcast!
Woo!
Wow! We should do another one tomorrow.
It's almost like we went to school for this.
A cautionary tale, says Susie. Do good math, kids. Hey, Susie. Nice to have you joining us.
Thanks, Susie. I know. I tell people I advise them against my lifestyle choices all the time.
It's not so bad, is it?
No, I got a dog. I got a roof over my head. Can't really complain. I've
So
already won the lottery, so
hot dog deals. So there's,
yeah.
there's benefits. Hey, Zoe, you know what I'm going to do?
Kick me off and
Kick
start.
you off and produce the podcast.
Yeah, I figured that was coming.
Or
Okay.
Pandora,
Yeah. Well, I'm sure we'll be chatting. I'll answer your text message. I'm sorry, I'm a bad friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's okay this time.
Bye, everyone.